Today we're going to be making a rubber stamp on the laser. I made about 10 of them yesterday, and I said, gee, I bet there's a lot of people who would like to know how to make a rubber stamp on their laser. So we're going to get started here. I'm in CorelDraw, and this is the rubber stamp we're going to make. It's a logo. So the logo has a fence, it's the outside, and the vector cut, that's the inside. Now the fence doesn't cut. What cuts is the vector. I'm going to try to explain the difference between the vector and the fence without the machines running so you can understand better. First of all, I'll make a copy of this. Copy and Control D makes a duplicate. Alright, so I'm going to ungroup that. Alright, so now here we have the piece of art. It could be all kinds of art, any kind of art. So you want this a different size. So you want to cut a smaller one. So what you will need is a vector cut, a vector line. That didn't work. Missed my little handle. There we go. All right. So the vector cut is the area that the laser will cut, and then from that point in, it will raster until it gets to your image, and it won't touch your image, right? You understand that? So that creates the recessed area. That creates your stamp, the taller area. Now, you can have as many of these as you want. I'm just going to group this for ease. And it could all be different. You could have text, return addresses, whatever you want. Alright? And they all have to have a vector, so it knows where to start and where to stop that. And that will be the size of your stamp. Now, the fence goes around, and there can only be one fence on a piece that you're engraving. So this outer line here is the fence. It does not do anything except tell the laser that this is the area that you want to engrave. And inside that area you have, in this particular case, 5 different stamps that you would be making. So I hope that explains, I hope you understand that the necessity for the fence. There can only be one fence. Multiple pieces of art, or just one piece of art, the way we did that, right? Here's your fence, there's your laser cut, that's going to be your rubber stamp. All right, hope that clarifies it. Okay, we're going to get set up for the running a rubber stamp. So we'll go to the printer, go to the properties, advanced, stamp, and why isn't that working? Oh, I know why. We have to combine advanced, stamp, mirror. See this guy right here? Mirror. Because I'm doing a right reading on my image, I'm going to mirror on the laser, so it prints reverse, or lasers reverse. hit OK. I didn't do my settings, and I have actually forgot what my settings is, so I have to go back to recent. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Alright, I went and got the settings, so that's what I'm going to be after. So now I'm going to go back to my printer settings, combined, and raster is 30, and this is just what I found to work on my settings. 600 dpi, mirror, vector 40, 90, 100. Don't ask me why the frequency. I ended up with 100. Maybe it was a recommendation from the laser company. In my case, it's Epilog. Hit OK on that. And now I'm going to hold that and then cancel it. Come back here. Alright, now I'm going to print that. Selection. If I hit everything right, it should go the right direction. So pause this again and go laser. Okay, I'm going to insert what I just lasered in that video, and I want to go back over the settings I had. I had a lot of the my camera went off. Okay, no problem. So first of all, I'm running a 45 watt Epilog, and it has an older tube, so I'm guessing it might be 35 watt, maybe 38. I don't have any way of knowing, other than over the years I've had to sort of slow down the time or increase the power in order to get the same results. But it's still running good. So, and by the way, Epilog, I think this is my second or third Epilog. I also had a universal laser, and both of those companies have excellent tech support. And I don't know anything about any of the other brands, but pretty much the ones that I am familiar with, awesome. So here's my settings for my laser. Now they might be a little different for yours, and the only way of knowing that is to play with it and experiment. And so raster 30 and 100 speed, 30 speed, 100 power, and the vector 40, 90, and 100 frequency. I run them 4 times with air assist. That's what you might have heard making all that racket. And the reason I couldn't get to rubber stamp mode is because I had made this note here. First, select page size and combine. So we'll come up here to print, and my laser is off. Yeah, it's not even going to let me get there because my laser is off. Well, I guess you have to go back to the previous video. If I turn the laser on, you can't hear me, and the laser off, you can't. I can't get there. So maybe I'll try to go back and grab some of that video without the sound. I could probably do that. All right, well, let's just put this thing together, and then I'm gonna have to just gonna have a lot of editing to do. That's all I know. Okay, so you couldn't hear me because of the machine, so I'm going to try to run you through the steps and the setup for a rubber stamp. And I've kind of went back and forth on this clip, so let me try to run through you with this. Now, what I'm doing here is I went to advanced in my Epilog software, and it wouldn't allow me to click because I didn't hit combined. So there's combined. Now I can click stamp for rubber stamps. I leave those settings with the shoulder and the widening, but where I just click, that's the mirror. So being that my image, my piece of art, is right reading on screen, I needed to do a mirror. So that's why I hit the mirror. Now I need to hit my settings for raster speed and power and vector speed and power, but I forgot what those were. I don't have them memorized for this particular piece for a rubber stamp. So now I'm just opening up a different file that I have my cheat sheet. I have my notes. And so I'm going to grab those, and I'm going to actually, I think they're locked, so I'm going to have to unlock them, grab them, and go back to my settings, hit 30, and this for my settings is 30 and 100, and then I think it's 40 and 90 and 100. 40 for speed, 90 for power, and frequency 100. Okay. So I get close, and then I fine tune it down there with that. There we go. And I don't know why, if that might be an Epilog recommendation to do a frequency of 100. So now we need to go back and select the item. So I'm going to apply what I've done so far. Come back to select my item, and then now go back to print, and there's my settings. Hit selection, hit apply, and now I can go hit print, and then I will show you here what the laser is doing on that. All right, we're going to make a block, and a lot of people just use one of the automatic. Got a couple here that I've done in the past. I've used in the past. There's a whole bunch of brands, but I'm just making a little block. So I have some side grip acrylics number 4 that I use for acrylics. And I've already laser cut the little pieces that are to size. So I'm going to put some of the acrylic cement on here. And what this will do is make a nice little nice little handle, a little pad for me. So you have plenty of time, well not plenty of time, but you have enough before this stuff starts digging in. Sometimes I'll use clamps, if I've got a lot or a larger surface, but these little guys here, I just sort of do a hand pressure until they lock up. Now, so on the top, I've raster cut what the rubber stamp is going to have. I don't know if you can see that at all. Got to go where the long shot bridge says. Lord help me. There we go. That's not going to get it. And try to bring it up there. You going to see that? Can you see that? Maybe. Something like that. Okay. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go sand it. So I'm just going to give this a minute or two to lock itself together. And then we'll go sand. And that's not necessary, but hey, I like things nice. I'm gonna, if I go to use this thing, this rubber stamp, or any rubber stamp, I like the nice feel. So just me. All right, that's about right. I'm gonna go to the sander, set the camera up for the sander. All right, I'm getting ready to sand here. So there's my little piece. Okay, now we'll fine tune this. Start with 180. Okay, drop down to, or go up, whichever I guess, 220. None of this is really necessary. In fact, you could have just taken that piece of rubber and put it on one of those Trodats or other brand rubber stamp with the automatic inker. Has the ink reservoir on the top, like I showed you earlier, and you wouldn't need any of this. But other than a little bit of labor, and this is pretty much free. And I don't mind using a rubber or an ink pad. Got quite a few of them, different colors. I enjoy using them for various things. I just made a couple return address yesterday and some other rubber stamps I use for bookkeeping. So, you get the idea. It's pretty. This is 320. Oh, that's nice. All right. I even like to go over the top sometimes, real lightly. Sort of reduces the glare. Might put a little padding underneath here. looks great. Looks great. Now we'll apply the rubber. We'll start with some carpet tape. It's double-sided tape, that's what I use. You could probably use glue if you like. I just have some of this left over from a different project. It's come in quite handy. So I cut close here. Speaking of cutting close, there's an area here that's probably going to get ink if I don't clip it. So I think there's one on the bottom there too. And we'll clip that right in there. Okay. All right, now then, take the backing off. That was the tape and the backing. Happens sometimes. There we go. So here's your backing. And that's the top. So kind of get an idea for fit. That looks good. Did it the right way. Give it a little bit of pressure. All right, that's it. There's your rubber stamp. You ready for it? Piece of paper. Some ink. Ta-da! And so there it is, right there. So the more ink you use, there. And that concludes the making of a rubber stamp. Here we go. That blue is a little dried out, so I guess this is called plum. There. Anyway, ta-da, it's a rubber stamp, right? It's not fine printing. Yeah, I think it would help if I had a little pad underneath my paper. So let's just try that. There, that's much better. Gives it a little bit of padding underneath there. Sometimes you've got to get too much ink on it, you get weird artifacts. Okay. Rubber stamp. Done. All right, I decided to put a little finishing touch on this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll let that dry for a few minutes, and then we'll sand the top, and then that indent will have ink in it. And that's what it looks like. That is the rubber stamp. Have a great day.